Hey guys, this is Jason, CEO over here at Ministry Sync. Today, I just wanted to take a few minutes of your time to talk about the elephant in the room, the coronavirus. Everyone is talking about it since the president gave his address last night, and I'm sure a bunch of you are wondering, how does this affect my event? We've had quite a few people that have called in, kind of panic mode, and so I just wanted to present some options for you today, okay? The spread of the coronavirus is on the minds and hearts of all the people around the world in each of our communities, producing a very common experience that includes uncertainty, anxiety, and even fear. And while we are aware that many news outlets have sensationalized this story, we acknowledge that it is a serious virus to those who have a weakened immune systems, particularly with young children and senior adults. So we know that this is a serious problem. President Trump said last night in the address to the nation that this is a global epidemic. And so it's serious. And so it will affect all of us. Let's talk about your events coming up this spring. So many of you have fundraiser events coming up, and you're wondering, are we able to do our fundraiser? Do we have to cancel it if we are not able to get into the hotel, or if we're not able to get people together? The good news is there are other options, okay? So the point of this video is just to explain to you maybe some other options that you maybe haven't thought of before. We are officially recommending that you live stream your event. All right. So what this means is whether you get together in person or whether you don't get together in person, either way, you should live stream your event. Because I guarantee you there are going to be people who, even if the event is technically on, they're just not going to come because they're too scared. They're too afraid to get together with people. And so either way, the first point of action that you should look into is live streaming your event. All right. You can live stream your event at your home and office or at your church. You can still have guests attend your event and create maybe a simplified version of your event for about an hour. You could even have a pre-recorded testimonials for your virtual event, or you could pre-record the entire event and just release a video on the night that you are going to do your event. And finally, you could set up a FundEasy Lite page for your virtual event so that people understand your goals and have a common place to donate online. So the main thing that I just wanted to communicate to you is that everything that you're used to doing physically is 100% possible online. And trust me, I know this probably more than anyone because 15 years ago, I started a business called Ministry Sync. And one of our goals, Adam and I's goals, was to see if we could build up the business 100% virtual. Without an office, without facilities. And here we are 15 years later, and everything that we do with Ministry Sync is 100% virtual. We do everything online. So we are very familiar with the tools and techniques that you can use to get things done online. Now, if you've been doing banquets and walks and physical events for a long time, and you may not be familiar with some of the online options. So number one, don't panic, don't cancel, make a plan and move forward, okay? The best case scenario is that the physical event goes on as scheduled and there's no average attendance lost. Plan B is that your physical event goes as scheduled with an average attendance loss, but you can make up that difference by having a live stream, right? So you could still, there might be cases where The hotel isn't going to let you out of a contract that you made with them. And so I would recommend that you move forward with the physical event as much as possible, unless Plan C comes into play. But if Plan C doesn't come into play, which I might as well just put that up there, which is the hotels or the government shuts down all events below a certain size, causing us to not be able to have the event. So this is kind of like the worst case scenario, right? That we are forced to not physically meet. So I would recommend that you not run out to your hotel and say, oh, we got to cancel the event. We got to get out of this. Because most likely what's going to happen is the hotel is going to make you pay. They're going to say, well, you booked this a year ago and we need the money. And so, they're going to make you pay for the event, or they're going to charge you a ton of money to get out of that contract. So your best case scenario is to move forward as expected, but live stream your event, right? Continue the event, continue the plan. Try to get your speaker there, try to make everything happen, but live stream your event and just tell your guests, hey, if you're not able to attend because you're afraid or you're sick or whatever reason, no problem. We are going to live stream it, and you can just click this button. There will be an opportunity for you to give online, or you could let them know that they could just give ahead of time before the event. I would wait. This is just my personal recommendation, that I would wait until the hotel or the government shuts down your event, causing you, basically giving you no option, right? That's the worst case scenario. And even with that, we have an action point, right? It doesn't mean we need to cancel the event. It just means that we need to move the event online. So I would recommend that you move 100% onto an online effort, which means you could do a Facebook Live, you could do a YouTube Live. If you don't know how to do streaming or live events, you could pre-record a program and just put it on YouTube and email it to people, right? Giving people an opportunity to learn about your ministry and to give online. The worst case scenario is that we need to cancel everything, and this is the last resort. But personally, I just don't think that's necessary. I think the internet will be alive and well. And so there are ways that we can move our efforts online and use online. That's the beauty of it, is we can move forward with the program. We can continue as planned and still be safe at the same time. All right. You might be thinking, well, I don't know how to do live streaming. That sounds all great and wonderful, Jason, but I have no idea how to live stream an event. I'm just one person, we're short staffed, we're short budget. Well, I've pulled together some people for an emergency webinar this next Tuesday. Okay, so this next Tuesday, in like 3 days or 4 days, we're going to do a webinar at 1:00 p.m. Eastern time. And we're going to talk about these things. We're going to talk about how you can host your event online through a live stream. I'm going to be on that webinar. I'm sure Crystal will be there. And then I'm going to have a special guest come on, Jim Dempsey. You may not know who he is or not, but he works for Campus Crusade for Christ, and he is a fundraiser event guru. He specializes in vision dinners, but he works with a lot of ministries around the country, and he's been dealing with a lot of questions. And so he is going to be on the call just to help answer any questions you may have. So that's the next point, is we're going to attempt to give you some more advice on what to do and just have an open question and answer time. And then finally, as we got together with our team, and we just thought, well, what can we do here at Ministry Sync to make an online event go smoother? And that is that we are going to have a special offer for anyone who attends the webinar that enables you to activate a special one-time FundEasy page that you could use for a virtual event. Don't let the word live stream scare you. It can be as simple as pulling out your iPhone or Android and just push the button and boom, you're live streaming, right? It could be that simple. Or it could be more complicated where you could get some equipment, have different camera angles, have microphones. So on our webinar on Tuesday, we're going to discuss all the options. Okay, we're gonna go through what's the simplest thing I can do to move my event online, to what are some more professional options, even folks out there that can do a full service, and you just hire them to come out and with cameras and they could just do the whole thing for you. So anyways, there's lots and lots of options. So don't panic. Don't be afraid. I think the biggest thing is just to prayerfully consider how we can move forward and how we can have some backup plans, right? So you remember the plan. I'm going to go back to my previous slide, right? Don't panic. Don't cancel. Make a plan and move forward, right? Best case scenario, we move forward. Plan B, we move forward with a live stream. I would recommend live streaming just anyways. Plan C, the government or hotels shut down things, and that's kind of forced. So that's outside of your control. No problem. We move the event online. Okay. So either way, I'm just saying you should plan to have your event online, whether you're doing it physically or not, because it's just a good backup plan, right? You just need to have that backup plan. So anyways, I don't think you're going to need to cancel. I really don't. So attend the webinar on Tuesday at 1 p.m. and we'll see you there.